Bro, Hollywood P reacts.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your dude Hollywood P, back again for another video. Now, as always, folks, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also turn on your post notifications so that you stay up to date with all of my latest uploads. All right, guys, we are back once again, and today we have a good bit to talk about. Now, we are going to be talking about Halle Bailey and her new man, Rashawn Akers, aka Scott Bridgeway. Also, we have to talk about this stuff that you guys wanted me to talk about as far as this Ruby Rose and DDG and why they're both in London seemingly together. Well, we'll start with this Ruby Rose and DDG situation. So if you guys don't know, DDG has been wanting to kind of rekindle things with Ruby Rose, not far as, you know, being in love or anything like that, but he wants to be cordial with her, be cool, because he admits that she is one of the coolest people, you know, that he's ever dated or ever been with, even though they had a toxic relationship in the end. She's always been cool. Now, a lot of people are speculating that he wants to hook back up with Ruby just to make Halle Bailey upset and stuff like that. But I don't really think she's going to be bothered by that unless he gets her pregnant and then it becomes Halo's brother or sister or something like that. Then she probably be a little pissed off because she doesn't like Ruby. You know what I mean? She doesn't like Ruby Rose, allegedly. And they don't get along. Of course, they don't follow each other anymore. They once did. And they had that big little certain thing about Halle wearing her shirt and all this other stuff. So DDG, of course, he wants to be a little petty. And so Halle Bailey also has been petty. Now, as you know, or may not know, DDG and Ruby Rose are both in London because of Drake. You know, Drake is doing that whole wireless festival thing out there, and I guess he's headlining it. I've seen like people like Bobby Valentino and just a bunch of other people pop out, you know, at this wireless event out here in the UK. Now, a lot of people said that DDG has been reaching out to Ruby Rose, but she's playing hard to get. Of course. You know, one thing about Ruby Rose is that she's a very jealous woman, allegedly. You know, that was a whole big thing about why her and DDG really broke up, because DDG was kind of like doing this thing out there, you know, in LA, and, you know, Ruby was kept catching them, cheating, saying catching them with alleged prostitutes and all kinds of just stuff, catching them with a girl in the car, she ducking down, hiding behind the seat. She just kept catching them and stuff. So even though DDG is doing a lot of this stuff with like the India Love and Tiana Musetta and everybody else that he collabed with, it's all for content, you know, it's streaming. So, but for her, it's more than that, because she's already kind of like been exposed to how DDG was when he was with her. So he wants to patch it up. He wants to be cool with her. He was supposed to do a Taco Tuesday with her a few months ago. He's trying to set it up, but the dots are not connecting. You know what I mean? But he's trying. He's still trying to like get her involved in it. Like, you know, he started her with OF, OnlyFans, you know what I mean? He started her off doing that, and he's just trying to like really patch up any bad blood that they got, you know, and I feel him on that. You know, it's like, it's always going to be that, probably that one ex that you probably like, dang, we were so cool, everything was so dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was out moving around, she introduced him to that Ethiopian food that he be eating, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, he want to be cool with him, you know what I mean? She'll be great for entertainment to bring on his stream. It'll do numbers, you know what I mean? They can both, he can teach her how to stream, because I know she probably wants to, because she's always outside. He just want to patch that up. And also, I mean, of course, he would have wanted to patch up the Kennedy Simone thing, but, you know, she pretty much vanished off the internet and kind of like, you know, was mourning her mother, her loss of her mother and everything. And I know he wanted to patch that up as well. So when you see Ruby Rose and DDG pop out in different places, and this is not the first time they're in the same place at the same time, you know what I mean? When she was in Charlotte at that DaBaby, I think he was headlining the show out there in Charlotte, North Carolina, where he's from. She was there. DDG was there. And I think this was like their first time being in the same city, knowing each other's in the same city at the same time, you know, at that event. And then, of course, you know, but prior to that, he was trying to get her on Taco Tuesday, when he was doing Taco Tuesdays for his stream, because everybody was saying, let's get Ruby Rose, man, get back cool with her. But it's not that simple. You know, especially with her seeing DDG with India Love all over the internet, twerked up and all kind of stuff. It's gonna be really hard for him to make peace with Ruby because she is not trying to be around that. She doesn't want to look like he won. You know what I mean? She don't want to make it look like he got the best of her, he got her back on the team type thing. Like, no, because that's what she got away from him because of, you know what I mean? Because he was cheating, allegedly cheating on her and stuff like that with different women. So by her seeing this content stuff, as you saw the video of her when she was in the car talking to Deshay's ex about, you know, how he's doing with all these girls and content and stuff like that, and it leaked everywhere. Well, it really wasn't leaked because she was live streaming and Ruby said it. You know, that kind of bothers her because she's like, he out here just like hoeing around type stuff. That's how she looked at it. You know what I mean? But eventually they'll be cool, but I don't think right now he can't really get next to her. You know, she was out there pretty much backstage with Drake, like kind of like cheering him on and stuff like that. So she just moved. I mean, I respect Ruby. You know, she's out here. She's not looking crazy. She's just doing her. She's enjoying life. She's got a lot of money. You know what I mean? She looks very good. You know, she's out just living her best life. She's not really trying to attach herself back to DDG. Understandable. All right, so now we got to discuss something else, and we are going to be talking about this whole Halle Bailey and Rashawn Akers, aka Scott Bridgeway. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Halle Bailey and Rashawn Akers, aka Mr. Bridgeway. People just alleged that Halle Bailey did this just to get back at DDG because she knows that he's a huge Drake fan. So she wanted to connect with somebody over at Kendrick Lamar's camp. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody that's close to Kendrick or a fan of Kendrick. You know what I mean? Just like she is, because she doesn't rock with Drake because DDG rocks with Drake. And that was allegedly one of DDG and Halle Bailey's main arguments. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't rock with Drake, he did. You know, she rocks with Kendrick. Like I told you, when it first came out that DDG and Halle Bailey were having issues, there was a video that popped up on Halle Bailey's Instagram story. It had Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us playing. She had Halo at the beach, and she was spinning Halo around, living her best life, or well, so it seemed that she was living her best life. And she did that intentionally because she know that DDG is Team Drake, OVO move. You know what I mean? That's why she did it, allegedly. So now that she connected with one of Kendrick Lamar's producers, it just seems petty. But like I say, with Rashawn Akers, the way that I say for him, because I looked at everything, I checked him out, man. His net worth is not millions of dollars. You know, Halle Bailey does have millions of dollars. So for him, this is a super come up. You understand what I'm saying? Even though Halle is no longer at that spot when she did The Little Mermaid, she's still a A-list celebrity. She's still doing movies. She's still constantly working. So she's getting to the money. You know, as far as this guy, you know, Rashawn Akers, I mean, he produces and stuff like that. But, hey, how much money are you really making from production? You know, everything streaming. I mean, Apple, what's Apple Music? $10 a month, Spotify, whatever. So everybody's just alleging that Rashawn Akers is just there just to bag Halle, get her pregnant, lock her down, marry her, and get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I don't think that's a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? Might as well, my brother. Might as well. DDG has moved on. DDG does not want Halle Bailey. You know, that's confirmed. He don't want Halle Bailey. He's got motion. He wants. Now, I would say if anybody he wanted, I would say it's Ruby Rose. I'm not going to lie. It's something there that he misses. Every man has that one toxic ex that still kind of drive them a little crazy. He'd be like, damn, I give her one more. I'm talking about one more time. Just one more good look. And Ruby Rose is that for DDG. Out of all his exes, that's the one that he still sees like she ain't got no kids. You know what I mean? She's still out here moving. She's still very, very pretty. You know what I'm saying? Her body's still intact. Maybe even better now than when he had her. You know what I'm saying? So it's still something that DDG definitely wants. But she's, like I said, she's not going to rock with him because of the whole India love. And he's just too many girls in his face. Too many women around. You know what I mean? He's just doing too much for her. If it wasn't for that, DDG could definitely regain Ruby's trust, because that's what it is. She don't trust DDG to be like even just on a friendly type of vibe. And you know, like I said, he's still friends with Lala, who she's not cool with. But Lala say, man, you know, Lala's like it was her fault that they fell out because she was young and dumb, but she'll be cool back with Ruby as well. But Ruby is kind of like just in her own world doing her own thing. She don't need nobody. She don't need Lala. She don't need DDG, and she just away from all the toxicity with the whole Lala, DDG, people that was in her lives before, and things just didn't add up. But now she's living her best life. She pops out when she wants to. She's still getting money. She's still doing her thing. Shout out to her. But anyway, guys, I am going to end it there. I just wanted to touch bases with you guys and give you updates on what's going on. But yes, I seen the Ruby Rose and DDG posted at the same time, pretty much saying that they're both in London. And, he definitely wants to collab with Ruby Rose. He definitely wants to rekindle stuff, not far as love, but just the being cool. You know what I mean? He wants to be cool with her and able to work with her on stream and stuff like that. But she's just not into it right now. But anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also turn on your post notifications. And as always, folks, as always, holla back at your boy. Peace.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear.